Good morning, you little fuckers, and welcome to the Four Seasons podcast.
Good morning, grand rising, buenos días, buenas tardes, good
Good
evening.
shit.
Sheesh. Wherever you're
Good
listening
morning.
at, every time it's
Hey,
morning for us.
awesome. Awesome. Palo Santo, everybody.
You look like you're smoking a doobie, is what it looks like in here.
Hey, pass it over, yeah?
Shit, that's what it looks like.
Oh,
Well, gentlemen,
y'all weeks. Did we have a nice
How's everybody
productive
doing?
week? Drinking some
I'm a little
coffee, trying
tired.
to
I'm a little tired. I'm dragging this morning.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
crazy. I woke up early this morning, ready to start the day.
All I heard in my
I got
phone was
up.
like,
Something
Wow.
tells me that something to wake up early every morning with
I
how
do.
chill.
Yeah, I can't help it. It's just the
it's
training.
Wait.
Is that-
Did your girl leave, or is she still home?
She's here.
Shit, I figured she got up early and she goes, maybe, I don't know, man, I don't know her schedule, maybe she worked or something like that, so that's why that makes sense too if you get up early too.
Yeah. So, I have a question.
Okay.
All right. What's masculine in women? Women?
Masculine energy.
Masculine energy in women.
hey?
That's gotta be an interesting topic to talk about. I'm pretty sure everybody has dealt with or seen some of their friends be in those type of relationships.
Single.
You're single?
Are you single?
So
Are
you
you
deal
single
with
or are you friend zone, bro? Are you single or friend zone?
All of the above at this point.
he probably
Yeah.
he probably friend zones himself because he's masculine. Who knows? Nah, I'm playing. Mosca.
No.
Mosca is
I think it's
ladies. If
other
you're
than that.
listening, ladies, if you're listening, he's a good catch.
You know, now that you bring that up, actually, just had this conversation with somebody a couple of days ago, actually, about the masculine energy. It's a listener. Her name is Vanessa. That's all we'll say is Vanessa. She told me about how a man told her that her energy is too masculine because she does things for herself. She's remodeling her home. She's not relying on a man, which is a good thing, because I hope that if anything, when my daughters are grown and they become, adults and they're on their own, they don't need to rely on a man to do most things for them. You should it's that way in any aspect of a relationship. You should never need a person. You need the person.
I have a question. When does remodeling a home a masculine thing?
Yeah, I was gonna say what he
I
ate
think
his sister because she was remodeling her own home by herself.
Damn.
yeah. I think it's the independence that he didn't like. I'm assuming the independence and maybe the use of power tools.
He should have been more feminine.
I just think this guy's a little insecure with himself.
That's exactly what I told her. It sounds like a big insecurity in this gentleman, and maybe he was jealous, or maybe he was upset that he doesn't know how to do the things that she was doing, and maybe that's why.
Or maybe she, I'm playing devil advocate here. Maybe
Yeah.
she did not know how to manage her time. Yeah, I could get it.
It could. There can always be other variables that play into a situation, right? She's a grown woman. She does work. She does work a lot. Okay, 10 plus hours a day whenever she's scheduled or whatever. But I mean, even then, the fact being, I mean, that it could be that maybe he was upset that she was doing a little bit more of that type shit instead of trying to spend more time.
That
But then
that's,
again, I don't know.
that sounds like a principle because I know a lot of women are mechanics. Is that too masculine? Oh,
I,
I'd rather
yeah,
have my woman
Uh,
be a mechanic than working in the house. But if you can work in the house and work in the car, shit, that's a big old plus. Because
I
now we're saving a shitload of money on doing things together.
I don't think it's a the act of doing something, it's the time management to a certain extent. I don't think any man. Well, I think the majority of men don't have a problem with the woman working or being a breadwinner or working hard. I think it's just a time management thing, you know. And for example, us guys, we work a lot, right? To a certain, well, not me, 'cause I'm not working, uh, but when I was working, I did have certain relationships where they complained about the amount of time I was working or the amount of time I was put aside for them. So I'm pretty sure that she's dealing with the same thing where she's working a lot, but maybe she's not, like I said earlier, maybe she's not balancing it out to a point where she's allocated time for a relationship. You know, there's a lot of people who work a lot,
yeah.
want a relationship, but they don't want to put the time in for it. They just want the person to accept it. That hey, I'm a hard worker and I'm gonna work, but my work comes first, and you know, whatever time I have, I'll make time for you if I have time to make for you, if that makes sense. And not a lot of people can deal with a relationship like that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women will leave men if they don't get enough time allocated towards them. Vice versa, a lot of men will leave women if they feel like they're alienated to a point where they
Bro,
don't.
but women will leave men if they work too much, but then they'll also leave men if they're a little bit lazy, quote unquote. So women will just leave men. Let's just leave it at that shit.
No, you're not wrong. You gotta hit all the variables to stay
You
to
hey,
stay
you
to stay
overwork,
to stay
we
like this.
overwork, we overwork to give them the life that they want, but then when we're giving them the life that they want, we're not giving them the time because we're working to give them the life that they want. So it just that yeah, that we'll just leave it at they leave men for stupid
Oh,
reasons.
yeah.
But for me, thinking about this, when you talk about masculine energy, I'm talking about that emotional alpha brain, that emotional front cortex of the brain, or not the emotional front cortex of the brain, but the cortex of the brain where men are men thrive more when their masculine energy is where it needs to be, just like women thrive more when they are in their feminine energy. But I feel like what she's doing is an expression of art, and women can only be really artistic when they're in their feminine. So this guy was just insecure. Like if time was a factor, you know, hey, let me help you remodel the house so I can spend time with you. See, men, we're problem solvers, right? We want to
Yeah.
solve problems. Okay, the problem here is we're not spending enough time together. Can I remodel the house with you? I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but I'll watch these YouTube videos with you and learn. This guy just, he wanted to, his masculine energy is not where it needs to be.
Okay. I can see that. I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Not every guy is built the same. Not every woman is built the same. So if you're listening out there and you have a spouse or a partner that's hardworking, you have to be understanding that sometimes their job does require more attention, depending on what position they hold or even if they own a business. Because I know owning a business could take a lot of time as well. So it makes sense.
I have a question for you guys regarding this whole thing that's going on with, this topic. Do you guys think that's just a stigma? Like, okay, because let's talk about something real quick. Construction, being a mechanic, those kind of hard labor jobs, it's a industry built by men, right? But then you think about cooking, a lot of men will be like a woman's place is in the kitchen, right? So if you think about that, I went to culinary school, and in every kitchen that I worked in for those 8 years, it was male dominated.
Have a
There'd be
shame.
10 guys and 1 girl. 10
Or
guys, 2 females.
it's
So
it's
I
totally
just think
important.
it's a stigma, right? It's just they're stigmatizing that this woman is in her masculine energy because she's doing a construction, a remodel.
I think when it comes to that aspect, like, I've worked in all kinds of stuff. Like I did, I've obviously been, a mechanic like the longest, but I did new home construction and I did like remodels and stuff like that. But there's women, you know what I mean? There is women that will work and will get dirty, and it's just a job, you know what I mean? But I think that's a different breed of woman, because
Yes.
most women obviously they don't want to like, they don't want to get dirty, they don't want to get fucking hot and sweaty. Quick story. Years ago, my dad and we had our own like remodeling business, okay? And we actually had two women that worked for us, okay? Um I knew these women. One of them I went to fucking uh junior high and high school with, and then the other was her friend, okay? Mind you, these girls are like, they grew up on the outskirts of town in the fall and shit like that, like on a ranch and stuff. So their mindset was a little different. You know what I mean? Like the one of them used to like break fucking horses and stuff like that. So it's a little, it was a little different, but everything we were doing, like busting down walls, putting up walls, fucking tearing off roofs and shit. Those chicks were up there doing it, and they without hesitation. But that's not all women. You know what I mean? Like obviously them being women, their like strength was obviously a little less than needed to be at sometimes. But I mean, that's okay. If you need help to do something, that's why you have other people that work with you to ask for help. But yeah, I think it is a stigma. I think it's just people will choose to, you know, there's nobody, there's no one's out there saying that nobody can go just because I'm a fucking mechanic and I work on heavy equipment, that a woman can't do my job. A woman can do my job easily, very easily.
Yeah.
Just
But I
we'll
mean,
do.
I think at the end, I think it comes back, bro, to the point that men build a lot of the infrastructions, and it's just been that hard labor. Men go to war, and men do all these things. I think that I don't know. I just feel like this guy just was insecure about what she was doing, because she might be submitting to him. She might have
Yeah.
been submitting to him fully with her feminine energy. She was just remodeling what didn't ask him for help.
I
I
think,
just feel like this guy was insecure about that.
that's what I said, and that's what, Moscow was there. He heard it. So, we were pretty much all saying that was insecurity on that man's part. And although I think you were there when we were speaking about it, but coming from her background, and then just like having to start doing all that stuff on your own, you have to kind of, I would assume, in being a woman, you would have to change your mindset and be like, okay, I'm gonna handle this shit, just because it's a predominantly male thing to do. I'm gonna set that bullshit aside, and I'm gonna do what I can. You know what I mean? Like most anybody does. Like if you need something done at your house, like chances are you're gonna do everything you can, right? Until it exceeds your capabilities, correct?
Wait, was he mad because he was able to drive what better than him?
Hey, she probably was, and she probably is. But then again, it
Sorry,
doesn't
that's
matter
I
what
had to.
you do. It's just a matter of time and patience and the time you put into learning how to do it.
Look, I
He
really don't give a
probably
shit.
takes longer to get ready than her too.
Oh man.
He probably can't find the right panties that he wanted to wear.
Hey, he doesn't wear high socks. He wears medias.
Yeah.
All right,
Dude. Yeah.
Mosca,
But
what do you got to say about this, bro? Where are you at with this topic?
Oh, I really don't give a shit. You want to put a fucking wall up? Hey, go do you. I'll be outside in a fucking car or something. I really don't give a shit.
So,
I
hold
really
on.
don't care.
Let me rephrase the question. Do you feel that your lady doing something like this is an opportunity for you to bond with her?
That's definitely that's definitely a bonding experience. Because now we're both doing something together that we can both either learn at the same time, maybe, or maybe
That-
she can teach me something that I don't know.
Same question for the bros, but also that same question for the ladies that are listening to this episode and the gentlemen that are listening to this episode. Do you find that intimidating, or do you find that to be an opportunity to bond with each other? Do you feel like you're less, or do you feel like you're more when something like this is happening in your relationship? That question for our viewers and the bros in here.
Yeah, if my girl can cook, I'll be in the kitchen and be like, all right, you know what? I really like how you make, like my ex, my baby mama. I love the way she used to make sopes. I was like, hey, you need to teach me how to do this shit. And then she taught me. I'm not the fucking have the brightest brain cell when it comes to cooking out there, right? But she had to teach me a couple of times until I figured it out. And I bet you right now, if I go to the kitchen, I'll probably still get it wrong. But we bonded for like a good 3 hours doing that shit.
Yeah.
We had a communication. We were talking. We were making fun of each other. We were playing with food. But it's a good experience, you know. Like if a girl can do something you can't do, or vice versa, if a guy can do something that you can't do, and she's more intrigued in it, the learning experience. It's a bonding experience. How I see it. I was like, fuck, if you can drywall better than I can do, hey, show me how to do that shit. As a guy, I'll be like, fuck, I want to learn how to do this shit. I want to learn how to drywall or how to do anything that I don't know how to do. Like, you know, when it comes to me, it's like, hey, I need help with this computer. You want to learn or you want me to do it? I'm going to give you those two options. We can learn together and I can teach you, or I can just do it in 10 minutes and we're done. Most of the time they say, yeah, I want to learn. And I'll give them the dummy down version so you can be like, okay, this is this. Is it right one,
Yeah,
two steps?
that's just a woman who wants to spend time with you.
Yeah.
That's an awesome point of view. What about you guys?
Don't talk about it at the same time now, either one.
I was waiting for him to go first.
Go in alphabetical order.
Wait, so Mike still goes first regardless? Why did I sing that in my head?
I feel like there's always two sides to the story. I think there's more to. Was it Vanessa?
Yeah.
I think there's always two sides of the story. All we're hearing is her side, you know, and nothing against her or anything, but I don't like to jump into clues or, you know, half truths or half sides of the story. It's just, I think there's more to it than what meets the eye. And so, like I said earlier, I'm playing devil's advocate. So I've been in those type of relationships where either I was the corporate of spending too much time at work and not spending time with family, and I definitely had to deal with the repercussions of that. Vice versa, having too much time on my hand, and you know, I've been in relationships where I was that factor where like, hey, if you're busy, I'm gonna help you out with either your business, or I'm gonna help you out around the house or chores or whatever the situation is. I'm gonna insert myself into whatever you're doing to either help you or to make time. It's like you guys were saying, hey, or like what he was saying with the whole cooking situation. Like he was in the kitchen for 3 hours learning how to cook. I think it comes with communication and understanding the person you're with. And if you're that type of person that needs time, and you know, when it comes to the relationship aspect, then maybe you should better understand the person before you commit to them, to understand what their work life is like. And so you can either one, and say, this is for me, or this is not for me, or you could adjust, or you could figure out, okay, where can I insert myself without becoming too much of a hassle of that person and still make time for us in the mix without affecting the workflow of that person, the opposition or the spouse. So I don't know. It's a slippery slope. Everybody's story is different. Everybody's experience is different. You just have to make the best of it. I'm just like everybody else. I love Adriana. She works a lot. This last week she's been working 10-hour shifts. So I insert myself to a point where I take care of the house. I help out the cooking. I try to make things easier for her. So like I said, every relationship's different. It's what you do, and to
Yeah.
help out or to make things worse. And if you make things worse, maybe you shouldn't be in that relationship.
Yeah.
Move on to talk later.
When it comes to me, I think, years, like, I'll just give an instance. For years and years ago, I used to work, I used to work out of state. I used to work all over the country, right? So obviously when I was gone, uh, I didn't get to do, obviously I didn't get to do much here at home, as far as like everything else went. Uh, I, I paid the bills, that's for sure. But I wasn't there to like do stuff and, keep things up. So, but when I was home, I'd be home for a few weeks or like, a month or two at a time. You know what I mean? I'd be off for a month or two. And while I was home, you know what I mean? I would do like all that stuff, like, cause, obviously, my kid's mom would still have to work, right? So it kind of reversed, the roles kind of reversed, and I did everything. Like I would cook, I would clean, or, you know what I mean? You'd get those times where you would do stuff together, like you would like bond over things, do things together. I think it's different when you're up at the age that we are now, right? And she's actually a little bit older than all of us. But when you get to that certain age, actually, at the age we are now, anytime you start working, relationships, they're going to be completely different. Like your time management, like I get you have to have that time together, right? And like we're talking about now, like they could have bonded. Maybe if it is the case where she was working too much and doing that stuff too much, and maybe he didn't get enough quality time. There are instances where you can, like you said, where you can bond together over things like, hey, let's make dinner together. Hey, or hey, I need to work on this backyard and get this thing ready to lay sod or seed. Well, fuck, let me go out there and help you fucking flatten it out. Let me go out there and, you know what I mean? Even if you ain't doing shit and you don't know how, you're still there providing time. Even if you don't know what the fuck you're doing, right? Maybe that was the case. But as you get older, well, when you work in your relationship, you have to understand that no matter what, like I know like relationships are important, but your work is also extremely important because that's how you maintain your life. That's how you live. If somebody's working, you can never judge somebody's energy by them working, okay? Because let's just be honest, like 8 out of 10 people are gonna be working, right? Like there are some people that have other careers and they retire early, okay? So then they might have a little bit more time, right? But then again, that doesn't mean the other person's going to be retired. The other person still has to work. So that other person, that other person's still going to be away, right? Working. So even if they do work a lot, you have to, whatever time you get, you do have to do that. You know what I mean? Like to do things together. Like Like, okay, we use Mike as a reference here. Mike being retired, not having to get up and go to work. Adriana still has to get up and go to work every day. Like he just mentioned, she was been working 10-hour days. Um, that doesn't leave much time for quality time. I mean, I know she has. Hold on, Bubba. Hold on. Don't get it from the camera. I know she has kids too. That takes up time. So I'm sure that you guys are doing stuff together to kind of get the time you've lost. So I think I think it all comes down to the people and whether or not they are willing to put in that time to kind of make shit work. Regardless of working on your house is too masculine.
Let
Yeah.
me ask you guys something. And I'll start with, obviously, from the bottom on my side. What's one thing you love to do right now, Mike?
Yeah.
Just one thing.
One thing.
Just one thing that you like to do and you're really good at. Don't go to the explanation. Just answer the question.
One thing, cleaning.
All right, welcome.
One thing that I
That
love
you
to
like to do and you're really good at.
do. I'm gonna with this one. I'm gonna go with help my dad because I'm bonding with him.
Well, I'm thinking more like in your relationship, in a way. Yeah.
Oh, in a relationship.
Yeah, right now with you and your wife.
One thing that I'm good at, I would say, is supporting the things that she needs to do.
Okay. Nick.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I would say obviously cooking, like housework. You know what I mean? The typical family shit that everybody still has to do. I mean, whether or not you.
My question is, what if you weren't good at that, and your partner? What? How would that make you feel?
Then
For me, and my like the person I am, if I'm not good at something, I always try to do something to make myself better at what things that I'm not good at, right? So there's always room for improvement. So say for like you guys did and like you guys did with the cooking thing, like if you were good at cooking or something or whatever, you went in there and you said, hey, can you show me next time you make that? Can you show me how to make that? So it's a learning experience. I always like to learn, and I always like to learn new shit, right? Because once I see something and it piques my interest, I'm always like, okay, yeah, let me do that. So it wouldn't hurt my feelings at all. I would just, practice makes, oh, I won't say perfect because nothing's perfect, but practice makes things better,
Sometimes men confuse ego with masculine energy. And I think that we need to be able to drop our ego and learn from somebody that knows more than us. So if I wasn't good at what I mentioned and Annie was, I'd have to learn from Annie. There's nothing wrong with learning from somebody else.
Why?
I don't mind learning new things. But you for my case, I said my favorite thing is cleaning, right? If my partner did not know how to clean, I think that could be a little irritating after a while. I think our personalities would clash when it comes to that aspect, and it's difficult. I think a lot of listeners out there, including you gentlemen, when it comes to doing something that you love, I think as a partner, you have to have some kind of connection with that. Whatever, it's something that you love doing. I think you guys got to see eye to eye when it comes to certain things, because if one person knows how, for my example, for my experience, if one person likes to clean and the other one doesn't, it does cause a problem. Eventually, it will. I don't know. That's difficult to talk about, because I've been in relationships where it didn't last long, and I've been in relationships where it was good, and good thing I'm in a relationship now where we both like to clean, so I don't think that's an issue. I don't know. Everybody's different.
And I think, when somebody's better at something than somebody, and I'm guilty of this, I'm not gonna say that I cook better than Annie, but I got a lot of technique with cooking, and when people are trying to cook with me, like I would have not made a good chef. I would have just made a good cook because if somebody's cooking something and it's not the right technique, not the right method, you're not seasoning it the way that it needs to be seasoned, I mean, it's not like this anymore, but I was an asshole. And Annie will say it, when I was cooking, she would not want to be in the kitchen because she wasn't as coachable as she is now, but I also wasn't a good coach. You know, so I would have never made a good, back then I would have never made a good chef because I would have not corrected you. I would have just told you what you're doing wrong and I would not tell you what you're doing right. It's not like that anymore. But you guys get the gist of it, right? Sometimes that's how it is, man. We're either our ego is too high or we're not coachable and we want to pretend like we're the best at what we do when in reality sometimes we need to step back and be coachable a little bit and learn from another person.
You gotta learn how to adapt. Yep.
Hey, Vato, what if Annie was a better cook than you?
Oh,
And you went to culinary school.
Then I would have failed. That was $20,000 down the garbage. No, I mean there's some dishes that Annie will make that I don't think I could make. Maybe if I worked at it, but it's just sometimes it's our place of grounding.
Do you get
Cooking
one
for
of
me
those?
is
Do you get one of those like she's really good at this? I'm gonna give her this, and plus I love her when she does it because it comes with love now.
yeah, no, but there's also the times where you're gonna make something and your partner's gonna be like, okay, I'll make the side dish. Teamwork, right?
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. Trying to find a way to bond with each other. This guy that we're talking about, which we really don't know the full ground to it, right? But what I will say is I feel that he was just insecure in his masculinity
Yeah.
because he could have offered to help, but if he is egotistic, then he was waiting for her to say, hey honey, can you help me remodel my home, instead of him saying, hey babe, can I help you remodel your home so I can spend some time with you? So I just feel like maybe she was submitting to him in so many ways with her feminine energy, but it was that physical labor that intimidated him.
Yeah.
Because, Nick earlier talked about how women worked with him in his dad's company. Well, when I go to Les Schwab here, there's two females working there, man, and they're picking those tires up. They're taking those tires down. They're working like guys. They're working like men. Would that be intimidating? I don't think so. Because maybe that woman will submit with her feminine energy to the right guy. Just how I see it. So the question for this Vanessa is, does she feel like she was submitting to him with her feminine energy? And how was he receiving it?
With the red thong.
it's just
You know,
or better question, when she was running into the situation or this problem that they were having in a relationship, what did she do in order to mitigate it? Or did she do anything to mitigate it?
Yeah, come to think
Or
about it, it sounds like it happened multiple times for him to actually snap and break up with her.
probably right. She probably got tired of it.
Was it the lack of communication? Did he know how to communicate? Did she know how to
Probably
receive
not.
his way of communication? There's so much we don't know. But
So,
Because
yeah, we
I
need
just
both.
feel like there is some insecurity there, Because, you know, it's so easy for women to say that men are insecure when we have boundaries, but this isn't a boundary issue.
Yeah. Because if it was the first time, then he already checked out a long time ago. But
Who broke up with who?
he broke up with her.
Yeah,
Right.
he stopped talking to her because of her
So it either happened
masculine
multiple times
energy.
already. It either happened multiple times already. I'm just assuming right now. It happened either multiple times already, or he just found an out and he took it.
It could be two. It could be two. Maybe
And then just try to say that she was too masculine and
maybe she wasn't giving him the energy that he needed from her, you know what I mean? Maybe he wanted her to be like, I don't
more
know,
feminine.
but more feminine, or maybe just maybe just like be more like, maybe more submissive, maybe to like, hey, I don't know how to do this. Can you do this for me? Can you help me?
Can you open the water for me? I don't know which one's hot and cold.
Yeah, I wish
Dude,
that.
There's no
because
red sticker.
there are women out there that are fucking like that though. I don't know what I'm doing, motherfucker. You're like fucking in your fucking 30s, man. You don't know what the fucking hottest cold is. Turn the motherfucker on and see which one gets hot first.
Yeah, but sometimes that is also a cry for attention. And I don't mean like, I mean, that is, if you don't know how to do something like that, something so simple, it's because you're trying to capture his or her attention one way or another.
Yeah, girls
Icebreaker.
like that. They try to be cute or romantical.
I know
Pretend
in my
something
dumb
like,
ass, I'll be like,
yeah,
really? Really?
They're
I
like
turned the hot water on for you. I
women
did that.
someone will pretend to be. They would pretend not to know something in order to get their man's attention. You know, and they think it's cute. For most part, it is, but
But
it
then you
is
start.
sometimes.
Yeah,
You basically start putting.
sometimes it is when they ask for shit like that. You know what I mean? But all the time, no.
Yeah, it gets annoying after a while.
Another question for the
It's
ladies.
nuts
Do you
right
know
now,
how to
bro.
parallel park your own vehicle, or do you need a man to do it for you?
Oh, fuck.
Because I
Without
haven't
scratching
met
the
one that
rims.
could parallel park her own vehicle.
Without scraping the
Oh man,
rims.
Hold on,
babe,
though. Hold on.
you gonna
Hold
have
on.
parallel park?
Hold on. Before you say that, automakers are now making the parallel park function in cars. So it's not just women. There's men that don't know how to parallel park too. Okay?
No, I'm just saying, all the times that I've been on this earth, I haven't met one woman that can parallel park yet, like in a decent spot. Annie worked for the DOL and she can't even parallel park. She used to grade that shit.
My baby mama can parallel park like you ain't never fucking seen. Like fucking, wait, dude.
But
I'm
so,
like, nah, yeah, it is. It is. That's a good thing. Like when I got my driver lessons, I had to do that before I could get my driver's license.
Mm.
They don't make you do that shit no more. Cause Steve was just like, I don't know how to do that.
well, okay, we're gonna say something, bro.
I forgot.
I was gonna say parallel parking is too masculine.
I forgot. Can you
I'm
back
back
in the
in all
parking
my.
spot? Can you back in a parking spot? Let's go with that one better.
It's easier back end than to going forward.
Yeah, for us maybe.
I try to back in everywhere. Like if I like, simply for the fact that I have to do it all day at work, I'm not allowed you're not allowed to just pull up to the office and perfect this. You gotta
said
back in.
You said everywhere, anywhere, like in the club.
Yeah.
You back it up in the club.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, I will. I will.
Yeah,
will.
Michael, I was just thinking that, bro.
We probably are cousins.
Hey, you know what? You got any speaking of that, do you have any family members over in the Santa Clarita area?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
I don't know.
Probably not.
It could, my daughter's graduation was the other day, and there was a girl over there. Has your last name? I shit you not, man. Shit you not. You look like you just could have been related. I was like, the
Oh.
fuck?
She had a fade and everything on.
No,
No.
no.
Yeah. My grandfather was very promiscuous. He had a lot of secrets and skeletons in his closet when it comes to like secondary and probably the third family out there somewhere. I wouldn't be surprised.
I didn't want to drift off, but that just reminded me of that right now. So yes, that's what he said.
That's funny.
Hey, stop yelling, dude. Yeah, I'm gonna get some breakfast right now.
The masculine came out. Hey,
Yeah.
I do it real loud. Sometimes
Yeah,
you gotta
why?
tell some person.
oh shit. Well, that was a good one.
Any last comments from anybody on that subject?
No, but now I want to go learn how to drywall.
You don't know how to drywall?
Yes, I do.
Drywall. It's like yeah, drywall is actually like really fun. That's like one of my favorite things to do. Like I really enjoy it.
I think most of this idea of drywalling is throwing water on a wall and drying it with a towel.
Ow. Fuck you.
He's like, look, guys, I'm doing it. I'm drying the wall.
I don't know about both on the wall stuff.
What about when you make her wipe the wall and then you have to dry it afterwards?
That's like that's your job. You win it, you clean it.
You clean up your own mess.
Just because I assisted doesn't mean I gotta do it.
Mm.
And when you're done, go to the kitchen, make me a sandwich.
Right. Hey,
Don't do that.
We're probably gonna have a bunch of comments right now that are gonna say, "If she can walk when you're done, you didn't
I
do
know.
it right."
Go make daddy a sandwich. Yeah, I went there.
Closing remarks for me. I just think, based upon everything that I heard and what I understand from it, it's just that my initial response was an insecurity in him. You know what I mean? You got to be able to accept your partner in all aspects, whether it's or a potential partner. It needs to be in an or feminine energy, I guess. Well, when it comes to being a man and we're with a woman. Yeah. That's mine.
About this concentrate.
Are we all gonna just stare at each other?
Oh,
I'll do
okay.
it.
Well,
Are
I'll
we
go off.
visiting each other right now?
I'll go off. Again, I wish I knew both sides of the story when it comes to hers. But I've been in relationships where if I broke up with them, a good rebound comment to justify why someone loves somebody is to call that person insecure. So I've heard that whole telltale, and my previous relationship, she was going around telling people I was insecure because I couldn't handle a woman like her, which it was a lot more to it. It was about time management. It was, we weren't seeing eye on a lot of things. So I don't want to get too much into it, but I wish I knew both sides of the story because maybe there's more to why he broke up with her. Who knows? And we're just hearing one side, and we're jumping to conclusions, or we're painting this whole picture about their relationship, only utilizing what we hear from her. And I'm not taking anything from her. Maybe she does have some validation of why, she feels the way she feels. That's why it's important to understand what you're getting into when it comes into a relationship. What Nick said earlier, communication. And if it works out, it works out. You guys got to balance each other out. And sadly, that deals with your profession as well. And if you can't balance your work life with your personal life, then it ain't it. Maybe you're not ready to be in a relationship. Who knows? Guys, if a woman is working or she's doing things for herself, that's probably the best thing you can do, especially in today's economy. If you feel like you're not getting enough time, insert yourself some way, shape, or form. Help out, be of service. And if that doesn't work out, then maybe you're not ready for that type of woman. Who knows? That's my end.
Yeah.
We good?
I'm good.
Well, man, no. We're out.